So I have more recorders than people here. Oh, Jim, come on in there. If you have trouble hearing me, just let me know. Yeah? Yeah. You all right in the sun, Jim? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Hey. Calm down.
Oh my gosh. What are you turning her into?
Selfing is being displayed incredibly on the tape. You can't stop it. It just goes on and on. I mean, a pause is just like a speed bump. Okay, hey. We're trying to be spiritual here. Will you? Forget about consumerism for a little while. Or at least you get something from consumerism. Yeah. If the mind's trained to get something, this is not a good place to come. Because hopefully you'll get nothing. Yeah. Maybe you'll see that all that something, what has it added up to? Nothing. So why not start with nothing? Yeah. All the somethings that we've entertained, yeah, have led really basically, if you added them all up, the sum of them is nothing. Yeah. So why not just go to what's behind the equal sign, the nothing, yeah? Instead of trying to get to it through something, just entertain nothing. Yeah. Instead of being an accumulator of something, it doesn't matter buying or not buying, but the idea of something, yeah? Seeing everything as things, even spiritual concepts are things, like enlightenment and awakeness. So, the biggest transformation here was the recognition, the unrecognition of nothing, and then making nothing into something. Yeah? So, when they talk about the void, the way the mind holds the void is conceptual. They say, oh, I know what the void is, and it's a thing that they know. They know a concept called the void, or the concept called emptiness, or the concept called this or that. But that's something. So nothing has been turned into something. Yeah? And as soon as nothing is turned into something, it can't deliver what nothing delivers, which is nothing. Yeah? It delivers something. And that's like a food, that's like a meal to the mind. If it gets a little bit of something, it thinks if it gets more something, it'll get a lot more out of something. Yeah? And so time gets injected into it. So instead of just having an invitation, it becomes an intensive weekend. We're going to all sit around and we're going to talk about how to integrate awakeness into ordinary living or something. And it'll be $150 or $250. Come Saturday, all day, and then Sunday half day. And by spending more time on it, it's as if it's going to produce more nothing. Yeah? Or if it takes more time, it's more valuable. Or if I spend more money on it, I must be getting something. Yeah? You are getting something. You're getting something from mind. Sort of like buying candy. Yeah? You get it. It's sort of like it gives you the sense of being filled or fulfilled, but it doesn't really produce any fulfillment. Because fulfillment can't be produced. Yeah? Fulfillment comes out of the place your mind would look last to, which is nothing. That's where fulfillment comes from. It's in absence. That's the presence. Yeah? It's in absence. It's in what seems to be a zero. Everything is available there. If you put it into time, yeah, and cause it to seem to be a process or a what would that be called? Like an consistently opening, more and more opening, that's making a huge something out of nothing. Yeah? And hopefully if you engage in all that something, what does it finally lead you to? If it actually serves you, all that something leads you to nothing. Why not go stay right there? Yeah? It's like people in recovery. they have a disease, and so they leave, they need relief, but inevitably, if they stay alive, they're led back to the solution. Yeah? So, in other words, it's sort of like riding a horse. Every time you get off the horse, you're going to be dragged back to the corral and have to get back on the horse. Why not stay on the horse? Yeah. I mean, every time you get off, you're going to get back. You have to get back on anyway. Yeah. So, the whole point about if all the somethings we've done, if they've done anything here, they've brought us to the point of I need do nothing. Yeah, which is you can't do nothing anyway, but I need do nothing. Why not start there? Yeah. Why not entertain nothing, and then the nothing can be infused with whatever something is going on? Instead of thinking a specific way of doing something is going to bring you nothing, have all the somethings that happen in life be infused with the nothingness. Yeah? Traveling in the nothingness while you're having to do something, which is basically what occurs here as an action figure. We're always on demand. Yeah? Things are calling us. We got to go to the bathroom. Something has to happen. Yeah? I mean, you try to do nothing, the bowel movement is not going to do nothing. It's doing a lot of something. Yeah? So, but to use manifestation to try to get back to non-manifestation, to me, is taking an expression as a path. Yeah, it's like the old way they used to talk about it. So someone sees a saint, yes, or somebody, and so they're enamored with that presence. Seems to come off on it. So they look at what the saint does, and they try to do it as a discipline to bring them to the state of the saint, not realizing the state of the saint is prior, and this is just a form of expression of what's prior through the apparatus of the saint. But from our point of view, we look at what they do, and then we think if we copy what they do, then we will feel or arrive at where they are. But they're not anywhere. That's the joy. So that's what's confusing. You see one person, and they're totally behaving seemingly different than the next saint. And then you go to the next saint, and they're behaving differently. That one saint's hugging everyone every day. The other saint never hugs anybody. What the hell? Is hugging going to bring me there, or non-hugging going to bring me there? Neither. They're just forms of expression from coming out of nothing. Yeah? Because nothing frees everything up. You actually appear to be more of an individual than when you were trying to be so individual. Yeah? By giving up the sense of being an individual, you'll be more of a seeming character than ever. Because everything's freed up to be an expression. Yes? Not a way to get somewhere, but an expression of nowhere, of nothing. Yeah? The nothing is manifesting. Obviously, you could say manifesting, this activity of manifesting, is a form of expression. Yes? How could nothingness express unless it appeared to be something? It wouldn't fulfill that drive of expression unless it could come into seeming being. Yeah? So nothingness can appear to be something. Yeah? And so, like in this little bit of, if you looked at it like 3 inches of that ground, you think, if you look at it now, oh, nothing's happening there. But if you went to it and you looked for a few minutes, you'd see tons of shit going on. Yeah? There's tons of shit from nothing. Yeah? But what we do, we call nothing a conceptual something called, oh, nothing's going on. Everything is going on, let's say, from nothing. So if, let's say, there's a manifestation, that manifestation must have some quality that's just like where it's manifesting from. Yeah? We're giving it space and time. This is language. Yeah. So while we seem to be a something, engaged with other somethings, all there is nothing. Yeah. And it's not contradictory. Nothingness is manifesting, and for it to manifest, it has to appear to be what? Something. Yeah. But inherently, in all the appearances of something, the real identity of it is no thing. Yeah? So in all the something, what's actually appearing is no thing. Yeah? So in this something, there's a part of this brain has claimed to be the subject that can only be no thing, and took it upon itself to say, I'm feeling that I'm a subject here, so I must be a subject as a thing. I'm a subject as this. Yeah? So the no-thingness has been identified by the mental process as a something. And it causes a lot of confusion, yeah? Because now, when it thinks of wanting to go back to its source, it thinks it has to do something to get there. The journey is going to be just that. It's going to be, let's say, the spiritual idea of I've got to get back to the source, let's say, you know? That seems to sound like a journey, and what takes a journey but a body, yeah? The spirit journey? I mean, spirit would have to be somewhere, and seemingly something to journey from that somewhere as a something to get to somewhere else, yeah? So the mind casts our own inherent nature, which is always available at all times, as something that we need to go to get, and we're going to travel a spiritual journey, which implies being a body. What else can journey? See, a body would take it to be a journey. Let's say there's spirit infused in this, it would be a joyride, because it's just looking out the windows, because it's not journeying anywhere, yeah? It's just a form of expression. It doesn't have no focused intention because it's already fulfilled everything. It's manifesting. So it's just, while someone on the spiritual path is looking, I've got to concentrate, I'm looking, never view it, no. I can't say, oh, that's a pretty girl. No, I can't let myself, it's like your sphincter muscle, your spiritual sphincter muscle gets so tight, you can't even squeeze anything out of that. No. And now, the form of expression is turned into a journey that one of the forms of expression is taking to get back to its source as a something. I'm going to practice, do this, then non-practice, give up that, I'll try that way. But it's all, so let's say a joyride is cast into the primary interpretation that this is a journey. I'm here and I'm supposed to, so this here isn't valuable enough. It's got to be leading me to a there. All the heres, if I'm really here, they're going to produce an accumulated effect where I'll be to that mythical there. The all-important here, that's not here. Yeah? So each here I'll sew like a necklace. Right, I'm really present. But I'm accumulating heres that I believe I'm going to arrive somewhere on this journey to an incredible here. That's going to be different than every here that I was working through to get to the here and now. But it's seemingly mentally there and then. Yeah, it's somewhere else. It's not here. Because if there was a recognition that it would produce an incredible relaxation of mind here, yeah, because the here isn't like it's collecting stones, yeah. How many epiphanies I've had a lot of epiphanies. Look at this one. This one was a real special. I think this was the one that almost did it. This epiphany here. This epiphany actually brought more realizations about the prior epiphany. And if I get all these together, it's going to accumulate all this, and it's going to produce an effect that I totally philosophically know is only here and now, but mentally it cannot possibly be entertained as that. It has to be entertained as some kind of arrival. Why would you use the word journey unless that's the case, yeah? Journey usually implies there's a purpose to the journeying, yes? I'm on a journey, and that journey is meant to take me to the Great Wall of China. And when I arrive at that Great Wall of China, that will be the fulfillment of what? My journey. Yeah? You don't see it? You don't see the mental conceptualization of nothing and made it into something? Who would walk on a path, a body? Yeah. What's a spiritual path? It implies a walkway, right? Let's say he's going to go through the jungle. Who's going to take that walk? Spirit? I don't think spirit needs a path. Yeah? So in a sense, for me, it's like a lady was here the other night, and I think she's a Buddhist practitioner. So she says, and it's really cool. She said, all right, well, what we do is to stay mindful. Let's say is follow the breath. Yes, follow the breath. But prior to the breath, there's a presence of what? No-thingness here. Yeah? The presence of no-thing permeates all this place of manifestation. Yeah? And no-thing is prior to any manifestation, in a sense. But first of all, it's prior because it's not of time. So it couldn't be placed afterwards. Or before, it's just prior, yeah? So there's a presence that's prior to the sense of mind relaxation produced by sensing the breath. Something way prior to that, yes? That it doesn't need to follow any physical activity. It's prior to activity. So because if there's a need to follow the physical activity, maybe if you don't follow the physical activity, what you think is produced by following that will not be produced. Isn't that mind playing God again? But presence is prior to breath. Yeah? It's prior to mindfulness. It's prior to it. There's presence. Yeah? And if the mind can key into it, the thing is, why I think it's so blinded is we're trying to key into it in the format of being a self. Yeah? Which always injects time and space, because that's what time and space is. That's the mind's attributes of selfing. Yeah? Yeah.
What if in Buddhist, Vipassana meditation, following the breath really means to get into presence, because you're simply being present, and as a way of anchoring your wandering mind that wants to go to the storylines, you're just staying with the breath, which kind of keeps you in the sense of what is, in the sense of presence. I think it's kind of, and the language is a little tricky because it seems like lots of doing, but if you just stay with nothing but your breath, because it goes on anyhow, it seems like you can tune in to the sense of presence, which is, like you said, the ultimate goal and all.
Yeah, see, that could be helpful, but to me, it's much more quantumly gone, because presence, there's absolutely nothing to do. There's just a recognition. There's just an awareness of it. Like the mind has entertained presence, but not entertaining it as a self, which gives it a lot of it makes it into something, yeah? Now the mind is entertaining it without that adornment of selfing, and it gets the quality of it, which is it is not of time, so therefore in time it's always available at all times, with absolutely no requirement to meet it, because it's all there is. That's so. Yeah? When the mind can entertain that possibility, hold on a second. When the mind can entertain that possibility, I'll tell you, even the quickest little trick seems like slow time. Really, it seems like slow time. And in that slow time, there can be so much claiming by the mental process as the one that's doing it. Yeah? So much claiming. Once you're introduced, once the mind gets into that time thing, it gives it a lot of time to claim a lot of different ways what's happening as something I'm doing or being done to me. That's just what I see. So yeah, Jim. Let's not have, don't go crazy on questions. You've used your allotment. This is your last one.
I knew there was a reason I came to here. When I was out in heaven, is if I'm in a play or a movie where nothing's happening, I get up and leave.
Yeah. But seemingly you can't hear. So what you have is you leave mentally here. That's what we do. Yes? How do we leave mentally here? When the mind is confronted with nothing, it makes time up. Yeah? past and future. And so now it can think about us something, which is you, because it's identified with an object, and that object is now placed anywhere it wants at any other time. And so now it can stay busy in nothing by making a whole lot of something up. Yeah? It doesn't want to confront its original face, which is nothing. Of course not. It wants to play. It wants to make up something. So it made up a you, and then the mind believes it, and the A drops off. Now it's you. Yeah?
My problem, my friend, is that I don't want somebody else showing me nothing. I want my own nothing.
Well, the thing is, no one can show you nothing.
That's right.
Because it's nothing. It's only an invitation. No one can freaking bring it out. You know? I brought a real special nothing. I got this from the Aboriginal lands of Western Australia. All right, bring it out. All right, get ready. Get in your breath. You want to be present for this event. All right, bring it out. Jesus, what is it? Exactly. That's right. You missed it. They took it back. Pay up, come on. You saw nothing. Wait a minute, I didn't see anything. Exactly. You saw nothing. That's the beauty of it, yes? It's the seeing nothing, that's it. When you're sitting here looking up at space, this is seeing nothing. That's the seeing nothing. No, I want to see nothing as something. Exactly, that's what blinds us. That's what blinds our mind. It has a certain pair of glasses that it can't, it's like, you know, when you go to 3D or something. You can't see nothing. Seeing nothing isn't like a visual engagement with an object. Seeing nothing is that. Entertaining. Yeah? That's seeing nothing. Seeing nothing is entertaining. Not a thing, but nothing. You're entertaining. There's the entertaining of nothing at all times, right now. Yeah? The mind is doing that. The mind is entertaining nothing, and that's how something can manifest. Yeah? If it entertained something, there would only be one something. But it's entertaining nothing, so millions of somethings can appear. Yeah? You're privy to it. Your mind. It's just the training is the mind in its eye. I'm not talking about this eye now. The mind's eye is similar to this eye. It's trained to see something. Yeah? Ideas and concepts and everything. So that activity of seeing is a form of blindness because you can't see nothing like that. You can't see nothing like you see something. But you see nothing. They're seeing nothing all the time. That's entertaining. Yeah? But you can't see it like the mind's trained. So and the training is totally invested and totally entwined with the idea of being a something. So what we're doing with this message is just entertaining the possibility you may not be that. Yeah? And so if that happens, that form of seeing that is part of that form of selfing, the mind can get freed from that part of way of seeing, like only things, like concepts and feelings, and see nothing. Yeah? It's not like an activity, it's seeing nothing. That's what it is. It's entertaining. I hope it's difficult to get this across, but there's a feeling of doing, in a sense, what you would call seeing something. There's a sense of seeing something. It's the same sense of flavor, but nothing. You're not seeing anything. Therefore, your gaze is never pulled off from it by seeing something else, yeah? Because it's nothing. So every time you're seeing here, every time you're looking from there. That's why they would talk about Buddhism. Emptiness is form and form is emptiness. What is emptiness, in a sense, but no thing, yeah? So when you're looking at a thing, there's a sense of no thing. Emptiness is form, and form is emptiness. Same. Yeah? So, in this way of looking, I'm looking at one thing, and then basically everything else is disregarded. So all the other things seem to be unattended to because I'm looking at this thing. Yes? So it seems to be very exclusive. Yeah? Yeah? So I can only see, let's say, I'm seeing, but if I really study something, I see one thing at a time. Yeah? One thing. Yeah. But this type of seeing is open. Yeah? There's just seeing. And the seeing is being demonstrated when you are looking for something. Yeah? So, like St. Francis says, what's looking is what you and I are looking for. That's exactly what, to me, that's exactly right. It's such a beautiful statement. Instead of 800 pages of a book, he gives it to you in like a sentence. What's looking is what you are looking for. Yes.
It's really a seeing, not as
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The seeing is like,
Seeing doesn't really even sound like it wants an object.
yes.
It wants something.
I don't know what else to say.
It's like sensing.
Sensing, yeah, a sense of it. But I like seeing because, like a day when it's clear like this, and you have a sense of clarity, you can see so far, that's like a real pale reflection of this clarity of seeing, yeah? Because in this sky, there is no thing. So your gauge never gets stopped by hitting a thing. There's no thing. So it's seeing like eternally, yes? Like eternal seeing. Never stopping or hitting anything. Yeah? So when I'm looking as this object, yeah, that's the seeing. Yeah? The seeing, by the mental process, gets interpreted into a form of looking, obviously. From one thing to another thing. Yes? So seeing is seeing, and then there's this activity of mind happening or appearing in the seeing, which is a form of looking. But it's seeing. Yeah? So while there's this event of looking, like Paul's looking, yes, at Allison, that's seeing. So how could I be seeing nothing when I'm looking at something? That's the beauty of it. Because something, if you follow the Buddhist statement, emptiness is form is emptiness. Something is inherently nothing. So, in a way, we're seeing, in this form of expression, we're actually seeing nothing for the first fucking time. Yeah? But I don't get that sense because I'm giving it a name of being something. Yeah, my mind is. So, all the while, seeing is manifesting here so it can almost like see itself. Yeah? It cannot possibly do it, so it made up a dream where it appears as something, and so nothing can see something. And both are nothing. Yeah? Or neither. Neither are something, or both are nothing, however you want to say it. But it's such a beautiful event, in a way. Because the only way the head in this situation can come to the idea, hey, all there is nothing, is through seeing something. And then realizing, Jesus, the something I'm seeing is nothing. So let's say if you were all there was, and then you decided, man, it would probably be such a joy for me to meet this all I am. So what I'll do is appear to be something other than that, so I can have the great super joy of meeting me. Yeah. So nothing can't get to meet nothing, so it manifests into something so that it can meet nothing. Yeah? What a cool thing, eh? Could you imagine a mind entertaining that? Of course! What is this but a dream of mind? And what happens? Let's say in spiritual journey, one of the highest things is when there's a realization you're not a body. What brings that incredible and sweet realization is that there was a belief you were a body. You couldn't have had the hit that you're not a body unless there was the belief you were a body. Yeah? So maybe nothing is getting to know itself by appearing to be something. Who knows?
But also, you cannot say that this whole, everything we see, the whole manifest world, is nothing appearing as everything.
Yeah, everything's something, yeah. You can say that.
Yeah, but even if you look at it from a scientific point of view, I mean, it's empty space. The composition of an atom is, the atom was, I mean, if neutron, the core of atom was the size of an orange, nearest electron circling around it would be 4 miles away. So it's also
right.
empty space.
It is all empty space.
Yeah. And so anyhow, even from that kind of a point
So
of view,
let's say in science, so let's say something was manifesting out of nothing, yeah? Let's just say. So let's say if, and you could put time on the manifestation. Would a billion things immediately manifest, or maybe just a neutron and an electron? So still it's all nothing, and then two little activities appear, and from those two activities everything else starts to appear. So nothing starts entertaining something, or everything, yeah? And so, and basically if you break down the everything, it seems to be nothing. More and more, all you find is space, which is whence it came from. Yeah? In the manifestation, who knows? It doesn't matter, because if you're traveling like shit, this kind of information ain't going to help you. So I'd much rather just, because my mind loves to go there, but I'd much rather just entertain the idea that you're not an inherent, long-lasting, separate entity. Yeah? And how can that possibly be entertained? Well, if there's an identification as self, it protects itself from the entertaining, because now you're entertaining that idea as a long-lasting and separate entity. Yes? So it's already defeated the whole entertaining. So we're not doing that anymore. We're just questioning, are you that which is taken to be you? Yeah? That's activity of implied presence, yeah? Isn't there a feeling before something happens there was still a you before it happened to you? That's implied presence, isn't it? If you didn't see that this appears because that's occurring, then the sense of being here before anything occurs is implied presence. The mind is attempting to be God in a way. So I'm present, and now from this presence, which is inherently absent, this presence is now going to see life as it's happening to me. That's going to be its basic interpretive way of looking. Yeah. So everything now starts to happen to you. And of course, if everything is just happening, and then you put a big you in there, then everything that happens can be given direction from that location. Oh, this is happening to me. That's happening to you. That's happening to them. Thank God. You know, those people dying in Africa. That's happening to my family. Ooh, that really painful. Yes? Everything is given direction now. So nothing is seen as happening anymore. It's happening to, from, towards, away. Yes? It's a big interpretation. What holds that whole interpretation like a glue is selfing. Yeah? The activity of the mind that produces like an optical illusion, just like the helicopter, blades. If they go so fast, it looks like it's a solid thing. You don't see the movement anymore. You just see the blade. That's what it's like to mind. The selfing has it, and at one point the mind it turned into a optical illusion. I am that. I am this. Yes. I am the body. Yeah. So the selfing has to be occurring to keep the sense of self, because there isn't a self. It's a sense that's implied by an activity of mind, yeah. And because of the identification as a body. Though the self, the mind, does not like the body, if you notice. It's really fucking pissed off it's in a body. It feels like it's being limited, and I could be doing so much more if I wasn't fucking sick or anything like that. But this is the deal it made with its little devil. Yeah? Alright, for me to have any relevance as a something, I've got to be identified as a something. Fuck! Something sucks, but hey, this is the only way I can play here. So now there's a deep identification with that, and the selfing just reinforces that all day. Yeah? That may not dry up because there's no source it's coming from. It's just an activity of mind. There is no self. Yeah? But if it can be entertained that I'm not that, then your attention and interest will move away from that activity. And to me, it translates as a traveling light here. So mind gets unencumbered by all the heaviness that's been given to all these things. Yes? Through its identification as a thing. So it starts traveling lighter in the manifestation in the realm of things. Yeah? But not as a thing. See? The more you try to travel lighter as a thing, the heavier it freaking gets. You know how somber and righteous some people are with their practices and everything? Fuck, it's incredible. I was in Australia, and I lived on a compound with this guy. Really nice space, and we had different houses, and every night he'd ride around and tell everyone, hey, I'm going to go into the meditation hall at 5:30. I don't want any noise on the property. Every day. So he was so anxious about making sure he had the right space for his peace. Yeah? But the mind was totally not in peace, but with the hope of being in peace. Yeah? That's sort of what I'm from. It's insane. It really is. However the manifestation is going, you can be sure of one thing. All there is nothing. And mind, that's how mind looks. The mind, if you were going to look at mind, it looks like nothing. Yeah? That's the Zen's idea of an original face. When the mind turns and looks at its original face, what does it see? Nothing. Now, everyone would say, nothing, but nothing is what you see. And after a while, your mind gets used to seeing nothing. So all day, when there's an engagement with something, the overriding presence of nothingness is seen by mind. Yeah. It can happen either way. The compulsion still doesn't imply something. Yeah. You don't have to. This thing can still be very unbehaved. Again, it doesn't have any rhyme or reason. It is just a freedom from. Something usually has weight. Yes. Whatever it is, it has weight. The belief that you're alone lasting, yes, that's not.
That takes lots of juice out of it.
It does take a lot of juice out of it.
But you really are not in it.
See, the thing is, when you believe that, I'm so free that I could do anything, you realize you're doing exactly what's happening. There was no choice in anything. Yeah? In other words, nothing changed. It's not like, because of this, that happens. It's not like that to me. It's just my conditioning. If I went out and shot some coke right now, it would be a nasty fucking scene. Probably. Sooner or later. Yeah. Now, the apparatus probably would be traveling very, very heavy. So the apparatus, to travel very, very heavy, would have to have the belief that it was somebody. Yes? And I would imagine if it wanted to re-engage with that belief, it would pick up a shot of coke to do it. Yeah. Is there anyone involved in that has immunity to that? No. But But see, you don't need an immunity to what doesn't have any effects. This place doesn't affect what mind is. Yeah? It's like this, the sky. There's not a cloud in the sky. So let's say 30 clouds appeared. And let's say they started raining. The only place where what would get wet would be the ground. The sky's not going to get wet. Whatever manifests or appears doesn't affect the nature of the sky, which is empty. Yes? No matter how full it looks, the sky is still empty. Yes? That's sort of what it's like. See, when I started to entertain this, I was entertaining it as a self. So, yeah? That was where the second little lock that I never saw was placed. Yeah. So I used to share a lot about using the idea of being a lion as the message, yeah? But there is no object as a lion. But I would always say, you're a lion, you're a lion, you're a lion. And the person would hear that because their ears hearing it. But when that hit the ear of the identification, that message would immediately be turned into, I could become like a lion. Yes? Time would be shot in it. Yes? An activity to do would be now engaged. Yeah? And that template, once I saw that, I realized that's an overriding template that is part and parcel of selfing. So anytime selfing claims nothing, it makes it into something. Yeah? What do you think happened? It's claimed nothing and it made it into a something. It's masquerading as nothing being a something. Because nothing seeing out, nothing is seeing out, but I'm saying I'm the one who's seeing. I mean, that's a pretty... So, seeing I'm not that is the freedom. The mind comes out of the yogic posture of selfing and starts being able to entertain, freed from the constraints of all these templates of mind on the seed that's turned it into a form of looking. And now, because seeing's always breaking out and breaking in. You're having free samples all fucking day. Yeah? And if you didn't live in an abusive situation, even in the made-up memory banks, you have a memory of being free inherently as a kid. Yeah? Where I had no idea of time as a kid. When I was playing, that playing wasn't pissed on by my idea, will I be playing next week? I may not be playing next week. So then you start playing like a fucking addict. You know, I've got to play a lot today. I may not be. I had no idea of time. So when I was playing. Yeah? I wasn't walking around my house, oh, this room should be bigger. I should have a bigger room here. Where's my Gap clothes? I don't want that sunglasses for kids, 3 years old. No, none of this was being entertained whatsoever. So it was, and so inherently so, there was no noting of it. There was no mental noting of what was happening. Yeah? It's when the mental noting occurred, your life became an interpretation. And a lot of times people don't get this. It's the mind, in the way it's conditioned, doesn't note nothing. It doesn't. It doesn't. When you're feeling, like if you're in a room and the only way you know if it's too hot, you only know about the temperature if it's too hot or cold. Yeah? There's always going to be a discrimination. Acceptance is never noticed. Yeah? When everything just feels okay, there's no noticing of it. It's always on to the next thing that could be unokay. Yeah? This is just these are aspects of conditional mind you can recognize. And these are all its demonstrations of its inherent blindness. Yeah? It's not gauged from being templated into selfing to see nothing. It's not. It's all about something. Yeah? And so to try to cause that template to see is another form of fucking looking. It's just realizing I'm not the center of all the templates, and then the mind comes out of the yogic posture it's in and starts expanding into another realm of seeing instead of looking at this and thinking of that and this and that, all that. And all the while, the activity of the mental process is going on, but there's the context of no-thingness. that influences the manifestation here. Yeah? You travel lighter. And it only has value while you're traveling. Because when the traveling ended, it'll be like this never fucking happened. So, it has value here where things can have value and not have value. It has an incredible value because most people tend to have a very heavy interpretation going on. So, while the manifestation is traveling here, the mind can take another little take, and which is, it causes itself to travel light in you by entertaining its inherent absence. Yeah? And it gets a sense of what? No thing's presence. But now a lot of people want to have the sense of a presence as a something. You can't get a sense of presence of no thing as a something. What are you gonna? It's just like that. It's like a like a big game hunter. Look at the nothing I brought back. Look at this. I'm the great spiritual hunter. Look at the size of this fucking nothing. Where's my little? Put it right up here with my big elephant. Yeah. I am something. I realize nothing. No. There's a recognition I'm not that, and that's it. Yeah. Then you're privy to what you always are. So that's that. Oh, we need more. Oh yes, I'm on the clock. I drove a long way. I drove a long way here to hear you. I'm not going to be satisfied unless I hear 2 hours of you. I always love to go over this very quickly. An invitation, you don't get a 50-page invitation, do you? I never have. If I did, I would never have gone. Way too many requirements. You don't get like a long, people who send like a 5-minute message on your voicemail, do you honestly listen to the whole message? Very rarely. You hang up. This is an invitation or a message, yes? Everyone has, I hope, a way of life that causes them not to have a totally insane activity out here. People eating today, yes? You have a place to sleep. The manifestation is somewhat okay. Now, mind doesn't have to be so engaged in all the machinations of survival. Open up to possibilities. This is what an invitation is. Yeah? Just delivered, you entertain it. Or don't. It doesn't matter. The delivery is just an act here. Yeah, here's the delivery. I get a joy out of it because when I'm delivering it, I get the message. Yeah? And I like the feeling of space in a place of somethingness. So you get the true sense of space in a meeting at times. Yeah? So we get together, and the true nature of mind demonstrates itself, which is space, presence, nothing. Yeah? And I like that in the midst of something world. Yeah? And I love having it set up that can happen a couple of times a week. Because I don't want to run around looking for someone, go on tour with them or whatever, and sit way in the back and have to sit down till they leave and get in their car. I won't be able to see him for a year. Read every book. No. I want to be able to have satsang a lot and just entertain this possibility. And then you come back and you report in, hey, I'm traveling lighter in this fucking life. Hallelujah! It's the whole point of it. Yeah? It doesn't have any point in nothingness. Nothingness doesn't have to get nothingness. Yeah? It's here where it's taken to be something. It's nice to remember it's nothing. Yes?